America has the strongest army in the world. Trump pushed Iran harder than any U.S. president before him. He cut off Iran's money, added very heavy penalties, and even ordered the killing of Iran's top general. He made it very clear the U.S. was serious. But when things got really dangerous and pressure raised on America, America looked around and found itself alone. So today we ask one simple question. Why couldn't Trump get his allies to stand with him against Iran? Now let's start from the beginning. Back in 2015, the US and 5 other countries, including the UK, France, and Germany, made a deal with Iran. Iran agreed to slow down its nuclear program. In return, the world agreed to ease the pressure on Iran. It was not a perfect deal, but it took years of hard work to build. In May 2018, Trump walked away from it, saying the deal was weak and bad for America, the UK, France. And Germany had helped build that deal. When Trump threw it out, he was also telling those countries, "Your work means nothing to us." That hurt them a lot, and it damaged the trust between America and its closest friends in Europe. The Europeans tried to keep the deal alive. They even created a special money system called Instex, so they could still do business with Iran without using US dollars. Think about what that means. America's own friends were working around America's rules. That shows you how bad things had gotten. They were not trying to help Iran. They were angry and fed up, and that anger did not go away. On January 3, 2020, America used a drone to kill General Qasem Soleimani near Baghdad airport. Soleimani led Iran's most powerful military unit. He was one of the most feared men in the Middle East. Killing him was a very big move. But here is the problem. America's closest allies were not told before it happened. When they found out, the UK said it was worried and asked everyone to calm down. France said things could get very dangerous, and Germany said the same. NATO put out a very careful and gave very quiet statement. Nobody jumped up and said, "Great job, America, we are with you." Why not? Because nobody had asked them. America made a huge decision, one that could have started a war, and did not even give its friends a heads up. It was like making a big choice that affects everyone in the house without telling anyone until after it is done. This was not a one-time mistake. Trump did this again and again. He acted first and told people later. That is not how you build a team. If you want your friends to help you fight, they need to know 2 things: why you are fighting and what winning looks like. Trump's team never gave clear answers to either question. Now, when Europe and the world ask from America what did America actually want from Iran? Did it want to remove Iran's government? Or did it just want Iran to stop making nuclear weapons? Depending on what day you asked and which Trump official you spoke to, the answer was different. John Bolton, Trump's top security advisor, wanted to go very far into Iran. Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, had his own ideas. And Trump himself often said he just wanted a better deal. Now, we don't know what he means by better deal. When your own team cannot agree on the goal, how do you ask other countries to risk their soldiers and money for that goal? Countries like the UK, France, Germany, Japan, and South Korea all looked at Iran and saw different levels of danger. Some thought Iran was a very big threat. Others thought the best way to deal with Iran was to talk. And then there is trust. For other countries to join you in a fight, they have to trust you. But Trump had been doing things for years that hurt that trust. He called NATO, the big military alliance that protects Europe, a waste of money. He started trade fights with Canada, Europe, and other friendly countries. He pulled America out of the Paris Climate Agreement, the Trans-Pacific Trade Deal, and many other global agreements. If you keep walking out of every group you are part of, Why would anyone trust you to stay when things get hard? The Arab countries in the Gulf, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Bahrain, were the most likely to support Trump against Iran. These countries genuinely did not trust Iran. Iran had helped armed groups that attacked them. They wanted America's support for fight these groups. But even they had questions. In September 2019, drones and missiles hit Saudi Arabia's biggest oil site, the Aramco plant. It was a major attack. American intelligence said Iran was behind it. But America did nothing serious in response. U.S. soldiers were already in the region, and they watched it happen. So Saudi Arabia had to ask itself, if America did not step up when we were attacked on our own land, would it really fight a full war beside us? That is a fair question to ask. The UAE was playing its own careful game. In public, it said strong things, but quietly, it kept its trade and communication lines with Iran open. Small countries that live next to Iran cannot cut off all contact. And Israel? Israel probably had the most to gain from a weaker Iran. Israeli leaders were happy when Soleimani was killed, but they stayed quiet in public. They knew that if Israel looked like it was pushing America into a war with Iran, the whole Muslim world would turn against Israel. So they cheered in private and said nothing in public. Here is something important that people often miss. Trump's own words made it hard for anyone to believe his war threats. Trump ran for president saying he would stop America from getting into more wars. He called the Iraq War a waste of money and lives. He told voters he was different. He would not drag America into new fights. Those words help you win an election, but they are the wrong words if you want other countries to believe you are ready to fight. Allies who were watching for signs of strength saw a leader who kept telling the world he did not want to go to war. Iran was watching too. Iran's leaders figured, and they were probably right, that Trump would use tough words and add more penalties, but would not actually start a war. So Iran kept doing what it was doing. It did not back down. And as long as Iran was not scared, there was no real emergency for allies to respond to. By the time Trump left office, Iran's nuclear program was further along than when he started. Iran had gone back to making uranium at high levels, levels that were not allowed under the old deal. Its armed groups in Iraq, Yemen, Lebanon, and Syria were still active. No serious group of countries had come together to push Iran back. All of Trump's pressure on Iran ended up pushing America's own friends away, more than it ever pushed Iran. So what is the real lesson here? It is not that Trump was wrong to be tough on Iran. Many of his allies agreed Iran was a problem. The lesson is simple. You cannot fight alone. It does not matter how strong your army is or how heavy your penalties are. If you cannot get other countries to stand with you, if you have spent years treating friends badly, you will end up standing at the edge of a war with no one next to you. Allies are not workers you can order around. They are other countries with their own people, their own past, and their own rules. If you want them to take risks with you, you have to earn that. You have to talk to them, listen to them, and treat them well. You cannot do that at the last minute. It takes years of working together and keeping your word. Trump took over a set of friendships that America had built over 70 years, through 2 world wars and the Cold War. Trump did not destroy all of that, but he hurt it enough that when the real moment came with Iran, he could not bring the team together. And that is the real reason there was no war with Iran. Not just because Trump was not sure he wanted one, not just because Iran decided to wait him out, but because the group of countries needed to make such a move, and make it work, was simply not there. If you liked this video, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Do you think things would have gone differently if America had kept its allies close? Let us know. See you in the next one.